Hi guys, welcome back to Miraculous. It's been such a nice sunny day today, and I'm soaking all the sun because I was a little under the weather. And well, I just like to be like my house is very nice when it comes to sunlight. So I was in the morning, I was sitting in the front balcony where the sun was direct. Now I'm sitting in my room where the sun is direct. So it's so cool. I mean, I thank my stars, I thank my universe for getting me all that sunlight. It's a blessing in real. I thought I'd just make this video a very, chatty video wherein I'm gonna speak of um, the kind of things that are very real and I quite like them as is. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I'm going to tell you about things that I like, things that I don't, things that I really want the world to understand, and I am doing my bit for it. So, I'm a very, a Punjabi girl from Delhi, and I belong to a very conservative family, but at the same time, I have my family members, my father, my mother, they're very, very open. They're very, very, considerate about the fact that things do change and things have their own course of time and everything. They're very open to change if it has a logical reason behind it. Otherwise, jitna pata hai hum uske hisab se karenge because we are more experienced, and that's the thumb rule. But I guess I'm very lucky because my parents have been really transparent with me right from when I entered the teenage. And that is something that I want all the parents and all the kids to be. Like, I don't think you should be scared of your parents because your parents said, ऐसा नहीं करने का है, ये नहीं होना चाहिए, ये गलत है. Sit down, have a chat with them. Know why are they saying that? And if they are too engrossed, like even my parents, there was a time when my parents were so engrossed, they could only talk while they were just, out there. And there were times when they didn't want to talk. Then when they were so exhausted with everything around, and I respected that. And there was a time when they came around and told me everything. So really amazing things have happened in life, and I feel that uh, when you start talking to your parents, you start talking to an individual in them. They start realizing that you've started to grow up, and that is something that I really like and I miss about my parents. Now that I have my own life decisions and everything, I do call them, for my daily motivation. But there are times when I'm so busy in office that I'm not able to call them. कभी कभी तो 2-3 हफ्ते हो जाते हैं, उनकी मिस्ड कॉल्स आती हैं, एंड मैं हार्डली उनसे 2-3 हफ्तों में सिर्फ इतनी बात कर पाती हूँ, हाँ ठीक हो, ओके बाय. So it feels bad, yes. Also, because when you start handling your own life, you want more space in terms of understanding who you are. And with me, the journey started when I got married to Mukul, my husband. So a lot of you have asked me in the DMs, how did you meet him? And you guys have seen my wedding video. I saw Mukul at one of my offices. This is in 2013. And at that point in time, I wasn't interested in any kind of a relationship because I didn't know how it felt, to be honest. And then somehow this guy challenged my own norms, and he used to be so happy around me. I used to like that kind of vibe in him, that he likes me for who I am. He respects me for who I am. He had a different vision for women altogether. He was not the kinds जो चपड़ा चूसी या चापलूसी करेगा types. He was very, very elegant, very sophisticated. someone who I'd like to be with, and our relationship had not been a very smooth one. We also had lots and lots of ups and downs, but the best part was that we stuck together. And when I had to make Mukul meet my father, it was like a nightmare of the sort, because my father was after my life to get married to a lot of people who he had thought of. So he kept getting rishtas for me, and I used to call it the rishta.com phase. And oh my god, that phase was never ending. I used to get so hassled because I couldn't tell it to Mukul that, listen, these guys are coming, because I didn't want to force things on him, you know. And I also didn't want to hush up things, because I wanted Mukul to make up his own mind. I wanted him to think whether he wants to get married to me or not. And if not, then I'd rather let it be. So I didn't want to force things down his throat. So that was why I never asked him out. And then came a time when Mukul asked me out. And when he did, I was like, now what do I do? I mean, there was a time when I wanted to get married to him. Like, I wanted to tell my parents that I have so and so and I want to get married to him. And then there was a time when I didn't want to, because I was like, I don't want to force this guy, man. And then there was a time when he asked me out, and I was more than willing to do this. So I was like so happy. So I told one of my cousins that, Bhaiya, aise karke hai, there's this guy who I really like, and you know, who I'd really like to be around. And so he said that, oh, knowing your mom, so this cousin is from my mom's side. So he said, knowing your mom, I think you cannot tell your mom directly, because she's gonna kill you. And I was like, I feel the same, you know. And so, and you know, at that point, until that point in time, I was not telling my parents, because I was not too sure whether this is the man or not. And but then it suddenly started off as that, you know, maybe he is, because then I started to think that would I like to be with him all the time. And you know, that's a huge decision, because अभी तो तुम डेट कर रहे हो, हफ्ते में 2 बार ही मिल रहे हो, एंड यू नो यू वेरी क्लोज, यू लाइक, हाँ हम लोग ऐसे करेंगे वैसे करेंगे, दिन में 50 कॉल या मैसेज हो जाता है, और क्या कर रहा है टाइप्स. But that was serious. That's like spending your life together. That's like sharing the same bed, sharing the same room. And I was excited, to be honest. I was very excited. But then that excitement was beyond compare when it came to my parents, because my parents are like I can't go to them and tell them, bhai aisa hai, main isse shaadi karna chahti hu. That's not happening, guys. So my father is somebody who just asked me one question and he'd assess whether I'm in love or not, or whatever the case is. And so I started the topic. I still remember we went to Burkos that night. My dad had just come back from London, and it was a day or two after, and we had a chat. And I told my dad that, you know, there's this guy who I want you to meet. And he said, on what grounds? Does he need a job or something? And I was like, no, Papa, he is someone who I really like, and I want you to assess him for whether I can marry him or not, because I really want to marry him. I love him, Papa. And then I started giving him the facts that, oh, he earns this much, his family is like this, he's got this many sisters, he's a very noble man, he says what he does, and you know, he's a very modern yet practical guy, somebody who's with a vision. He recently got promoted in the office, and blah and blah and blah, and pura makhan wali chalu tha mera. So I told my dad so much, blah, 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 blah. And he was driving the car. We were at the signal. We just crossed the green light. And my dad said, Changa, bula lo usko milne ke liye. And oh my God, like, getting the first green ticket is like, that's it. You start thinking, you start beginning to think, oh, what did I just hear it right? And then because our work is so demanding, there were times when Mukul was not like free on the weekends, and then 2 weekends had already gone by, and finally Mukul was speaking with me, and he said that, listen, this weekend I'm gonna go to my mom and dad because it's my dad's birthday, and I'm gonna let you know what's the scene like, and then I'll let you know whether I'll meet your father or not. I'm like, you are going to decide now? Like, after I've told my dad everything? That's not happening, bro. And he said, calm down. I'm sure things will get okay. But you've told your parents. I need to tell my parents too. I cannot meet your father and then tell my parents. I like, decent enough. That's like a valid statement for me. So this one goes to his father. He talks to him, and I am really worried and anxious because it was 1st of May and 2nd of May, and 1st of May had already gone by and 2nd of May had already started, and I was like, when is this guy going to give me a green signal? When am I going to tell my father that, he is the one, and he's going to meet you this and this time? And I was like so nervous at that point in time. I can't even tell you. That day I couldn't have any food. I couldn't even have like fruits and everything because I was so full with the tension that I had on my head. And then Mukul calls me and he tells me, listen, my father has said that meet her father and mother and see what they have to say. Now the countdown begins, and my father is like, he's such a fan of South Indian food. He's such a my father is very fun loving. When it comes to fun, my father is another level of fun loving creature. He's like someone who'd make sure that everybody is comfortable. He'd be like, oh changa yaar, chal raha hai yaar, chalo, let's just do this, man. So he's like, he just needs fun around. He just needs good vibes. And so my dad was like, सुन, उसे सरवना भवन बुला ले. मैं कहा ओके. मैं कहा दोपहर को? कह रहे नहीं बेटा, सुबह सुबह. लाइक सुबह सुबह कैसे किसी को बुला सकते हो यार? लाइक वो भी 9 बजे के करीब. एंड टू माई सरप्राइज मुकुल वोर ब्लू कलर का कुर्ता, उसके ऊपर ब्लैक जैकेट और नीचे जीन्स. लाइक यार ये लड़का इतना सुंदर क्यों है? I legit had this thought that मतलब मैं flat होगी, मेरे पापा तो 100% flat है. At all times I was sitting right next to him, and instead of my parents talking to him, I was just I was the moderator. Like कुछ मेरे पापा बोलते हैं तो मैं मजाक कर देती हूँ, कुछ मेरी mom बोलती है तो मैं my mom is much more serious than my dad, and that's why they're quite a couple. And so my dad just said one line, I'm going to tell you after this, and my mom asked him so many questions. Beta kitna earn karte ho? Beta ye kya hai? Beta wo kya hai? She knew everything, but she was just asking. So my mom's got a habit of reading people through the questions that she asks, and she was already halfway through the information that I had given her and that she had stalked Mukul off. मतलब legit, she was stalking Mukul the moment she realized that ये इसका दोस्त भी है. She started stalking him on Facebook. मैं जब भी iPad पे जाती थी, मुकुल हनराल का पेज खुला होता था, कोई पिक्चर खुली होती थी. शुरू में मेरे को लगा कि यार चलो, this is me who has done it. And then later I realized that, oh my fucking lord, this is my mom. And so then after the extraordinary chat with my parents, Mukul, he's a nice chap, and so he was also leaving, and my father, before leaving, he said, beta, I just have one daughter and she's my life. I really love her. I love my son too, but she's been she was my first child. She is my first child. She's the love of my life, and I cannot live without her. The only thing I want her to be is happy. That's that. And if it comes to something as big as wedding, I really love her. So that was that. अब मुकुल की सिट्टी बिटी गुल थी, and मुकुल was एकदम शुश, पता नहीं क्या सोच रहा था. My parents were एकदम शुश, पता नहीं क्या सोच रहे थे. Suddenly Mukul bahar nikla, and he was about to sit in the car, and he so मतलब हमारी गाड़ी में, because Papa had offered him a lift till the metro station. He said, बेटे मैं छोड़ देता हूँ तेरे को metro station. Like, okay. Mukul got out of the car. He texted me, how did your parents find me? And my father, it was like the cosmos were asking questions. Like, he asked me the question, but it directly went to my father, I guess. And my father shouted out and said, I love him. And I was like, oh, okay, if you love him that much. And like, I was so happy. I like, for me, my father accepting my choice was immensely, um, like, it gave me immense happiness. It was something that I was really looking forward to. And I knew that he'd have no reason to say no to a guy like him, because he is somebody who can handle me. So I even said this in my wedding video, that if at all I could see anybody in my life, it was Mukul, because um, I know what the kind of person that I am. I am a very hyper person. I get highs and lows at the same hour, at the same time I can get them. And it's very difficult to calm me down. And Mukul is somebody who can tell me anything and I will calm down. He's somebody who is like my nirvana, you know. I've never found a guy who is as loving, as caring, and as understanding as him, and at the same time very charming. So he knows how to just woo me away to whatever he wants me to believe in. And that was when I realized that, oh, okay, I think we've clicked. And फिर क्या था, बस my dad called all the close relatives that my dad had, my masi, my mamu, my my cousin dadajis, and everyone. It's like, मैनू नेहा दे ਲਈ मुंडा पसंद आ गया जे, and all kinds of Punjabi things happening at my house, and it felt like a mini marriage gathering, at our house. And let me tell you, at my house, marriages are like looked after. They like the time best spent. And like, people who were at my wedding till the date, they tell me that it was by far the best wedding our wedding had, like our family had, because that year, because you kind of get together, you're living together, you kind of have fun, and fun with good food and good weather is like heavenly. So, and आजकल के time में families don't really get that much time, and that night was so special because everything was so good. It was like it was meant to happen. It was like I've just opened doors to happiness. I've just opened doors to my life, and touch wood, it's still the same. So yeah, that was one of the best things that I really liked. And when I was making this video, I did not think that I'd tell this story to you guys, but I guess that everything just begins from being transparent to your parents. Because when you're really transparent to those who've brought you up, they kind of understand you as an individual and they let you grow. And the best part is that this is the mool mantra of happiness, because you don't have to hide anything from anyone. You don't have to speak lies. You don't have to make stories for your own people. I mean, stories should be told, false stories should be told only when you have no resort left, and that one false story leads to the other, then to the other, then to the other, and it just goes on. It's like a forever concept. But when you have really good parents, when you know that your parents have the capacity to understand you, trust me, all the parents, it's universal, have the capacity to understand you. It's just a matter of fact. It's just, matter of time. How do you want to deal with them? Do you want to make them understand? Do you want to understand their point? Or do you want to just be that? And even if you don't want to share a lot of nitty-gritties, you can always tell them the truth, only that much that is required, if at all you have to. Punjabi में बोलते हैं अगर लुकाना है किसी चीज़ नो, which means if you have to hide anything, then just hide probably the bit that might hurt them. And that too, I guess you should tell them, because it's better to tell than to wrongly spell. And I know that's a spelling contests line, but yeah, that's that. I think anything is possible when you have the forces with you, and your parents are your immense forces. They're like the positive hand over your head that'll always be there, you know, no matter what. The teachings that your parents have given you, the love that your parents have given you, everything that your parents have given you is all attached to love. It's budding from love, it's blossoming from love. And love is something that has made this universe. Love is something that is beyond comparisons, words, feelings. It's a very different thing altogether. It's basically something that's not man-made. It's God-made. And when you're that transparent to your God-sent friends, which are your parents, once you grow up, you will actually believe so. And especially when you get married, trust me, you believe so. I'm one of the most lucky people that when I was not married, I had my best friend, my dad, always with me. I had my mom with me, and today I guess both of them are very close to me. But even though I hardly get any time, they know that their daughter is doing something right. She's not into, she doesn't want to stay alone because for the heck of it. They know that she loves us, she loves herself, and that is something that matters, because that is what life is. So yeah, that's that, you guys, for today. I know this is a very personal video, and I don't know if you guys will enjoy this or not, but if you do, please do leave a big fat thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe to my page, and let me know if you want to know more stories. Let me know if you want to know anything else about me. I'm more than open. You can also ask questions about your personal life, probably, if you feel like. No stress. Bye.